There we go. Oops. Oh, there you go. Get to see my little makeup case there. All right, let's get going here. I only have a few minutes, but I just wanted to tap in with everybody. Whew, getting through this season, right? Getting through the end of this year. And there's just so much happening. Like, like it's like this snowball. Everything's like all of a sudden it's accumulating and everything is coming um wanting to come rapidly, but it's not, right? So this is where Saturn is meeting with Pluto today at 0 degrees Aquarius. There has been in the 21st century, and I just learned this. It's been the largest conjunctions ever at 0 degrees Aquarius, and in the 20s, like the 2020s. Like this is we had Jupiter and Saturn meet there. And now with Venus and Pluto meeting there, it's really bringing in where people might be having, breakdowns. We also have Mars retrograde now. Neptune is stationary, going direct, and it's wanting to fix things. It's wanting to get into to the algorithm. It's Aquarius, right? This Aquarius energy wanting to feel movement in some way and wanting to have things go in a certain direction. Yet we're not we might be having the breakdown. We might not be able to do it. We might not be able to get through this, and this might bring in a lot of frustration. The thing is that we wrote our book, you know before we came here. We had, it was like, this is the way your life is going to go. This is the way you're going to die. This is what's going to happen. These are the people you're going to meet. These are the lessons you're going to learn. Do you agree with all of this? And of course we all said yes. That's why we're here. Yet we don't know all of we don't know it all. Like, we won't know everything until the end of the book, basically. So this is where we are having, there's a lot of twists and there's a lot of turns, and there's a lot of information that we have to work through. We don't know it. And this is where also it feels like we're waking up in the middle of this place, or this, and I keep on seeing it's like a room, like this big room. We keep on, we wake up and it's like, well, where are we? What are we doing? What's this all about? And feeling disoriented, feeling like trying to assess what's happening and trying to logically put it together, yet there's really no logical explanation to it. And that's where a lot of people will be losing it, because we are wanting to fix it. We are wanting it to be a certain way. And with Mars retrograde in Leo, and we also have the squares and the oppositions with the sun, and the sun opposite Jupiter, and wanting to get those answers. And with Jupiter retrograde in Gemini, it's like, well, look at, there's all of these answers, there's all of this stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, it's over here, it's over here, it's over here, and we're freaking out. We're freaking out. And this is where we're going to have to find where that fear is. Why are we freaking out? What is that fear that is having us freak out? Where is it? And this is where it's going to lead you, and lead with courage. And the moon being in Pisces, and it's, right now it's conjunct with Saturn. Tomorrow it's going to be in between Saturn and Neptune. And this is where it's like really squeezing that emotional, spiritual side of you. Where is your connection? Where is your harmony? What is that fear that you are having? What's that anxiety? Right? So this is where it's, we are going to be feeling all over the place. And it's a whole long journey we're still on. Like, we're not at the end of the book. And there's a lot that we had written for us to go through on this journey. And the reason we wrote it was to have us find that truth and that connection to our spiritual selves. It wasn't made, we didn't write it, we didn't put it together to suffer. We put it together when we were looking at it and choosing this journey, this earth journey, for us to come into this physical being from the ether. We came from the ether into this physical being to experience, to embrace the love, the joy, the the craziness, the sadness, the upsetness, the anger. We came to experience that so that we are able to transmute and move through and allow ourselves to come back to a true connection within ourselves and that connection with that divine. There is so many unprecedented things that are happening in this world right now. There are I'm just thinking like there's Trump's in Paris right now. He's going to be meeting with Prince William. It's the reopening of Notre Dame. It's this is like okay, this is he's not even president yet. He's out there, right? This is just it's unprecedented. You don't see this, right? We have where they're supposed to be opening the tomb of St. Peter and and putting a cam in there. Pictures from Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 are coming back so clear, and it's kinda like, how can they be so clear? Because this is a camera from 1977. Yet we're finding that everything from Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, which are way on the other side of Pluto, and they went up in 1977. These are things that are coming in, and how we are being witnesses of all the craziness of all these, and it's happening very rapidly. So, of these algorithms that are trying to figure out their way because it's Aquarius. Aquarius is the scientific brain. So, trying to figure this out in a logical, sensible way. The Queen of Swords, I know this. This is what I need to know. Doesn't mean she doesn't have a heart, doesn't mean that she doesn't have a connection with her intuition, but she comes from the mind. She comes from the I know. That's the Aquarius. I know. But here is Venus coming in with Pluto saying, don't burn the bridges. I mean, she rules Taurus. Taurus doesn't burn bridges, right? Taurus wants to have a connection and keep that connection. What is that connection that you need to keep with that with self and with your divine? What is that connection? How are you keeping it without trying to make everything so scientific? And with the sun in Sag, this is about coming together. This is about celebration. This is about knowing, yeah, I know that's out there. I understand that's out there, but I want to have a true connection and I want to find that power and that peace and that passion inside myself through this. And it's a lot of mutable energy, right? Sagittarius is mutable. Pisces, is mutable. And they're opposite each other, right? So it's all of this energy that can really get people scattered. And if you're a fixed energy, right? And you want to have things done in a certain way, or you're the cardinal sign, and it's like, we have to do it this way because we're the leaders. We're going to start things and be, whether it's that spark or that rushing water or that mountain that needs to be climbed in a certain way. Here comes this energy. It's like this playfulness and these children that come in and saying, but no, we're going to do it this way. Don't worry about that. I mean, that's gonna fix itself out. There's a journey that we're still on that's gonna bring in the twists and the turns and the adventure that's ahead of us, but yet fearful of, "Well, I don't have all the facts. Do I have everything? Is this the way it's supposed to be?" Right? So our connection to God, our connection with spirit is what is going to lead us more with courage and more with possibilities and that spiritual connection. Because when Neptune entered in 2012, was bringing in what are those opportunities do you want? Now Neptune is stationary direct and saying, I hope you got it. I hope you figured out those connections because I'm going to be heading into Aries. I'm going to be heading into something that's going to bring in a whole new way of looking at the world, a whole new way of connecting, because Aries is the beginning. It's the start. It's the beginning of the seasons. It's the beginning of the new astrological year. So it's bringing in some connections that we haven't had in a long time. But it wants to bring this in so that we are able to have the truth of who we are, the connections of who we are, and to understand that we are more than just a physical body. We are more than just this world, this mundane world. We are more because we are the vastness. We are the connection. We are from the ether. We're made up of the stardust. And that's who we are. But sometimes that can be a little far out for people and a little bit crazy. So let's pull some cards, see what's there, and bring in this connection. If you're wanting a reading, my readings are on sale right now for $100. They're on sale until December 21st. That's in 14 days. And from there, they are to be used by the spring equinox. So there we go. Let's bring it in, baby. Oh, wow. It's funny because when I was shuffling this card, it kept showing up. Like I just and usually I don't notice the cards too much when I'm shuffling, but this one, and then it flew out, and it's the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is looking at the heartbreak and the sorrow that's within our lives, right? And as we look at that heartbreak or the sorrows or the tragedies and whatever it is, or the losses that we have had, for this year, or even for the last, since I'm going to go back to, was it the last Mars retrograde from 2009? I think it was from 2009 to March of 2010. That time, it was a very transformational time for many of us, things that we were doing or trying to go through and get through. And now we're at a time that we can look at that time and, it might have been, it's funny because when we look back, we have like 2020 hindsight, right? So you look back and you're like, that was a great time. I was being a mom. I was just trying to get through things, but I wouldn't have changed anything for the world. Although in the middle of that, you might have wanted to change everything. So now we're looking at things and we're seeing, looking around, and we might be seeing a lot of heartache, a lot of sorrow, and things are feeling very distraught in our world. And to know that, yeah, it might feel that way, might feel gray and gloomy with all of that, especially when it comes to the Three of Swords. Three of Swords is not an easy one. Three of Swords are about reflecting any negative forces. It asks, am I ready to move forward and work through the shadows that have been inflicted in my life? As I said a few days ago, we are going through a shamanic change. And in that shamanic change, shadows and things that we have maybe not dealt with, or maybe we felt like we dealt with, but we didn't really release them completely. And are there any painful memories or experiences from the past that I am still holding on to, that I'm still going through? Am I still hanging on to it? This is a time of, especially with Mars retrograde, of really looking at, of saying, you know what, this is what I want to do. And you may not have it yet, but it's to be it, right? To be the love, to be that of what you are desiring, because in comes death. Situations are going to be ending all around us. And the death comes in, and we don't, when we are feeling distraught and we're feeling all over the place, this is where we are feeling the loss, the betrayal, and the heartache. And in comes death and says, yeah, it's over. We're done. We're done with these situations. We're done with this fear. We're done with all of this heartache. But you want to hang on to it? Why are you hanging on to it? What's the reasoning? Death means there's new light coming in, but people don't want to see the light. They don't want to deal with the light. They want to deal with how they want to see it. They want it to be all pretty and wonderful and whatever, right? So the death card, when it comes in, because the death card's ruled by Scorpio. Death card comes in to everybody. Death, the ending comes to everybody. And when it comes in, it gets us to really look at our truth. This is where we want to step into our truth of who we are. What do I need to release and let go? So this is all like within the astrology, it's saying, what do you need to let go of? What is that fear that's holding you? What are you scared of? I know I have quite a few that are coming in, that are really feeling overwhelmed, and I'm feeling, am I going to get through this? And this is where the transformation tends to show up when something is coming to an end. And when something's coming to an end, sometimes we want to hang on to it. When somebody, and my mind goes to a hospice. So when somebody's in a hospice, and yeah, we pray for them, we pray for the best, but there's a part of us that just doesn't want them to die, doesn't want to let them go. Yet through that death is a huge transformation and releasement for them, and allowing for that releasement. But yet we're afraid, and even whether, I mean, hospice is sort of the worst, what we would call the worst case scenario, but it could be other things within our life. It could be letting go of, you know what, it's time for us to move from this home, or it's time for us to go in a different direction when it comes to our spirituality. Everybody says I need to believe this way, but this is what I feel I'm being pulled to. This is what I feel I'm being connected to. And being open to the new opportunities that are going to present themselves, because yeah, it's all about moving away. Wow, there's a lot happening here, and there's a lot to unfold over these next couple days, and as we are even coming into the next couple weeks, right? And Mars retrograde is going to be with us all the way to April, and it's going to send in a lot of waves, a lot of changes, a lot of things that we are not wanting to face. And it's going to be with us for more than half of the year of 2025. And it only retrogrades every 2 years. It doesn't like to, I mean, we're stopping the warrior, but the warrior is stopping in two signs that really either like to control their emotions or like to be able to shine and come from the heart and come from their truth. Yet it's feeling like it's very difficult to be able to do that. So we have to allow for the releasement of the old to happen, so we can step into this newness, this new light, these new ideas, this new revolution that is unfolding before us, and allow ourselves to be open to it. There's a lot of emotion in this. There's a lot of emotion. These aren't easy cards that I pulled. And I know a lot of people are like with the tarots, you're like, I don't like tarot. Tarots are truth. Tarots are the ones that make you look at things you don't necessarily want to look at. You'd rather look at the prettiness and the roses, and it's like the Queen of Hearts going out and painting all the roses red, because she doesn't like the way they look, right? Trying to change the way things look because, oh, I don't like that way it looks. Let's mask it instead of looking at the truth of it. Looking at truth is difficult. Whew. In 2009 to 2010, that's when the Journey Club came into me, and where I started writing it down and finding information about it. I didn't know what it was about. I didn't understand it. And it wasn't until I taught it quite a few times that the Journey Club, the 8 weeks, it's 8 weeks. Like a true Journey Club is 8 weeks. Of really going into that depth of looking at oneself and saying, "Huh, yeah, you know what? This is the way I view the world. And if I view the world as destructive and horrible, then that's the way I view my own self. But if I'm beginning to view the world with love and laughter and joy, that's more of what you'll be stepping into. But it's a lot of releasing that we're going to have to be doing. Sending you guys out so much love today, and may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you, and all you say and all you be and all you do. If you are wanting a reading, get a hold of me. We'll work on some times to get you in, because I have some times coming up that are open, and so the readings right now are $100. So have a blessed one, and we will talk to you guys very soon, and blessed be everybody. Bye-bye. See ya.